Hello and welcome to day 16 of The Magic. This is the Magic and Miracles in Health Day. It's a Monday. I've literally just got off my exercise bike. I've said all throughout January I'm going to do half an hour on it. And so far I've stuck to it, but I do feel a little out of breath, so you'll have to excuse me, even though I got off it about 15 minutes ago. The Magic and Miracles in Health Day. Now, do you know what? This day's really got me thinking, like a lot of these days have. And I've had my own fair share of battles when it comes to health. Like I've said in a previous episode, I'm diabetic, I've suffered from psychosis. And in the last 2.5 years, I've actually lost about 25 kilograms. And I never used to think about this back then when I weighed a lot more than I do, and I was very overweight. And when you look at pictures of me now, perhaps I'll put one out very soon of what I looked like 3 years ago. I wasn't grateful for my health. I wasn't grateful for my body. And actually, looking back at it now, I was almost kind of ashamed of the way I am, but of the way I was back then and the amount I weighed. And I didn't have any love for my body or gratitude. And subsequently, I suffered a lot of bad health. And it was just one day I had this moment where I thought I need to change the course and the trajectory I'm on, because I'm just really not looking after myself. And since I've started on that whole journey of losing weight, and it wasn't easy, I went through a lot of ups and downs, and as we do, kind of tears along the way of the battle of losing all of that weight. I have a lot more gratitude than I ever have before for my health. And it's actually funny because when I look at some of the relationships that I have in my life, I know people who are constantly always in a state of unwell, going from one ailment to another ailment, and all they talk about is negativity in regards to their health. And as such, they seem to go from one disaster to another disaster when it comes to their health. So I think this day carries so much merit, and I've done a lot of studying myself into health. And there's this great program, if you're part of the Gaia TV network. If you haven't checked out Gaia, you'll probably really like it if you listen to this show. It's basically a spiritual network, and it has, for £8 a month, you get so much content. It's crazy. Everything from tarot to sacred geometry to healing to meditation. It's got it all on there. And one film that's on that particular channel is called Heal. And Heal is a documentary all about how people with different diseases, through using the power of their mind, have managed to heal themselves. And it's revolutionary. The founder of the the particular practice, he basically had, and don't quote me on this, I'm probably going to explain this dreadfully, but he had a really bad condition with his back. And what he did over a period of months was he would visualize the discs moving back into the right position in his back. And he managed to defy all science, and no doctors could explain it. But if you watch the documentary, it explains it perfectly. And I think it absolutely sums up in a nutshell what day 16 is all about. I think that when we go, and I'm guilty of this as well, I think we all are, when we go to a doctor and a doctor gives us a prognosis and says, you've got this particular condition, all of a sudden we let it consume us. We start Googling it, we focus all of our attention on it. And this day sums it all up, you know, by focusing your energy, intent and everything on that ailment, you're magnifying it. And I think this day really sums up that the power of the mind is so great. And I really believe that so much can be healed through the power of the mind. But I also think that you just have to look at, people that are going through really bad periods in their life in terms of stress. They tend to have lots of physical conditions that come off the back of that. So much can be healed with the mind, but also so much can be prevented with the mind. And I think this day sums it up beautifully. I just wanted to say as well, I'm not releasing any more episodes of The Soul Sing in terms of interviews until the magic has concluded, because some of the speakers that I've got coming up are so profound and some of their messages are so enlightening, and they're such great guests. But I don't want them to get lost in the daily episodes of The Magic. So, as I said before, I've got some absolutely amazing content lined up, and some amazing interviews to release. And I did an interview yesterday that absolutely blew my mind, but it's given me such a motivation to get through and finish The Magic, because I'm now not releasing any more episodes until the magic is concluded. But let me assure you, I have got some absolutely incredible interviews, content, meditations coming out as soon as this is concluded. So, yes, one other thing I wanted to say as well. We're going to round off the magic. Sarah Deverell, who came onto this show, had a great idea. So at the very end of February, we're going to do an episode of the Soul Sync, which is basically an opportunity for everybody to come on Zoom with me and Sarah and share your experiences. We're all going to talk through how we found the magic, what's happened as a result of it, has it changed our lives, what do you feel at the end of it? And basically on the Facebook page, Sarah is going to very kindly put out a link. So at the very end of February, the date will be confirmed. You can come onto that Zoom and share your experiences. And then we're going to release that Zoom as an episode of the Soul Sync. So we'll see how that goes. It's an experiment, but it's an experiment I love the idea of. And I thought that would be a really nice way for us to conclude this whole 28 days. So, again, if you want to watch that documentary, it's called Heal on the Gaia Network. I think you can actually sign up for the first few days for free. So if you just want to go on there to watch that and then end the subscription, then I think that's fine. Lots of love. See you tomorrow.